Hi guys, welcome back to another painting video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because the process is different. So with the Cybermen, they're silver. There's not much to follow in terms of I can't really do a usual tutorial. So without further ado, when you receive your Cyberman head, now it will either be this one. It'll either be this one, or it could be one of these ones without the ears or the handles. The process is pretty much the same. If you've got one with the handles, then you just put the clear handles in last once it's been painted. If you've got one of these guys, then I'll explain. Now, first things first, what you're going to want to do is find something like this, or a pencil or something that fits into this bottom hole. So this drill bit works perfectly for me. I put it in the bottom there, and immediately we have something that's going to make it so much easier to paint. Not to mention, you're going to get less paint on your fingers. I mean, obviously you can hand paint these with acrylics if you want, but I personally like to spray paint these with a matte black first. As you can see on the left, I've done some prior to this, recording this, and that's how you want them to look before the silver goes on, and you'll see why when I get to the silver. So without further ado, let's spray this Will in Space Cyberman head. For this stage I'm using just a high coat matte black. I've warmed it up slightly because it's almost winter, so you're going to want to warm your paint. This is room temperature anyway, so it's ready to paint. And that's what you want it to look like. Now I am running it under the heater just to speed up the drying process, and as it does dry, the paint will turn matte black rather than shiny gloss. So now this is dry, I'm gonna give it a spray of silver. I like to use just silver from Halfords, and you'll see why. I will now show you the result. This is how the silver looks once you've just given it a mist, like you saw me do a moment ago. And obviously you're going to want to run it under the heater or just leave it to dry for a few hours, and then we're ready to paint the details. And in case you were wondering, the Will in Space Cyberman looks awesome as well. And we're now inside, and we're going to finish these heads off. So as you can see, I've got a couple different paint brushes. I've also got a couple of blacks. One's a glossy and one's like just a matte black by Model Color. You can pick these up on eBay, fairly cheap. And let's get painting. I'm going to start off and paint the Wheel in Space Cyberman. And I'm just going to take a little bit of black paint on my brush and now carefully paint the eye areas. And then you want to try and get that teardrop. Gonna need quite a steady hand. and if you get it where you don't want it, just wipe it away. And on to the next one. And once you've painted all the features, that's what it should look like. It looks pretty cool. For the Tomb Cybermen, I wasn't too sure what would look best, because obviously they were silver with almost a chrome kind of tape around the eyes and mouth. So instead I went for 3 different versions. The first version being silver with grey around the eye and mouth, with obviously black circle for the eyes. A little bit more reminiscent of the actual character helmet. And then there's the middle one, which is probably my favourite, just leaving it silver with the just the black in the recesses. And of course the last one, which probably turned out the worst and is probably the most accurate, having a slightly darker silver to allow the lighter silver to shine and look more chrome. So not entirely sure which one I prefer, probably the middle one. But it's just to give you an idea of what you could do with yours. Actually looking at them from a distance, that one does look quite cool as well. Now if you have purchased one of these with the handles built in, I've come up with a little technique to kind of give it that look, that on-screen look, because obviously they had clear handles. Now what I've done is I've taken a bit of white and a bit of grey and mixed it together to create a, well, essentially a very, very light grey. And I'm just painting the handles in this colour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to varnish the handle so it's very shiny, like the clear acrylic they used on the real helmets. And it should give us the look we're after. So let's jump forward and see if it turns out how I expect. So while it's not perfect, I feel like this does the job. It looks good, considering they're not actually clear acrylic handles. Now, if you are after one of these, when this video hits, if you're watching this, these are probably out or out very, very soon. And as I say, I will do ones that will come with clear acrylic handles, but they'll be a little bit more expensive. However, if you're going for this slightly cheaper option, then this looks fantastic. And just in case you're wondering how it looked on one of the bodies, I think it looks pretty awesome. Obviously, it's not the right body, it's just a tomb body, but it still makes an absolutely awesome custom. And obviously you could make a wooden Space Cyberman using an invasion body, but obviously the body on that would need a little bit of custom work at the top to make it all sit snug underneath the head here, because obviously it's designed for the invasion helmets, which were a lot bigger at the bottom. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Join me next time when I'll be painting the pterodactyl, and of course keep an eye out for our future releases. Just before I go, I want to give a lovely little shout out to George and Edward. They know who they are. And until next time, see you then.